Look, it's a flood.
It's a flood.
It's flooding.
Get away.
Quick, we need to get to higher ground.
Open the floodgates.
Gotta get a straw for the cup hit. Gotta get a straw for the cup hit. You know what?
Oh,
Can you
we're
name that song?
God damn, I can't even think of who that would be by.
Something takes a part of me.
That's a.
Something lies and never sleep.
I feel like all of our white listeners
Every
are
time
like.
I start to believe
Snatches.
something great and taken from me.
Snatch a scene pass, he's a poser.
I cannot take. It seems so much that I can break.
Listeners, I need y'all to let me know, is Zig doing a good interpretation of this song, or
Have you
am
figured
I
out what
really
it is
just
yet?
no? Absolutely not. I cannot figure out what it is, and I don't know if it's because of the way you're doing it or if I'm just really blanking. I'm gonna be mad when you tell me what it is, though.
Freak on a Leash by
God
Korn.
damn it! God damn it, bro.
Now that you know, you're like, God damn it, that was good.
Yeah. I mean, listen. I feel like the more you keep saying it, it's gonna have the Streisand effect. Like, all the femboys are gonna come up to you when we go to the cons and they're gonna be like, so, what it really is? What's up with that?
Completely unrelated note. And I'm just gonna get this line out and we can continue from there on. Landing a Shoryuken is really hard.
Is that your way of telling the femboys that they're really gonna have to come on strong if they want to get your number?
No, I'm just saying that I may or may not have used a button combination of a fighting game move as a password, and then
You're really gonna, like, hate me for this tie-in because it means you're not gonna be able to get rid of any of this. But speaking of coming on strong, you're still on the dating scene. You know, B, I'm tapped out, right?
yeah.
So there's not a whole lot between my partner and I that isn't already spoken for or said, but there seems to be a new dating trend that has made it all the way to Forbes, and as our resident single, I wanted to ask you about it.
All
so,
right.
have
Let
you
me hear.
heard about... I'm sure you've heard about gaslighting before, right? Like, that's...
Yeah, and then my mom does it to me all the time. And then accuses me of doing it.
Well, there's this new thing the kids are doing. It's called... Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? There's this new trend that the kids have called floodlighting, and it's rising up and crashing through.
It was like the way I was like, it's gotta be like,
We're gonna talk about floodlighting here on your favorite weekly pop culture digest. It's your boy
and
Ziggy, and we are the Flood, here to trauma dump on you. That is foreshadowing. All of your favorite weekly trends and topics with our pop perspective.
to put the culture in context.
And make some of all of that news dump
Mainstream
make sense.
Because if we do not make sense, we don't make dollars.
Holla. It's crazy that after 5 years, you don't trust that I will be able to bring it back in. Yeah, no, trust me, I got it, buddy.
No, it's just like,
I
I like to lead on the dollars.
Yeah. Well, it seems
I feel like Bugs Bunny in that one clip.
the youth, the Gen Z in them, like to lead their potential dating pool with trauma dumping. Floodlighting, one of the things we will be talking about amongst all the many things that we will be talking about, because, you know, we've been gone for a little while. But before we get into all of that, let's talk about this floodlighting here. The latest dating trend, according to Forbes, making its way around TikTok, where people share deeply personal and emotional details too soon in a relationship, often in an attempt to accelerate intimacy. Originally coined by psychologist Brené Brown, floodlighting refers to overwhelming someone with vulnerability in a way that feels more like a test rather than an attempt at genuine connection. While it may seem like a way to fast-track closeness, it can actually push people away, according to Brené Brown.
You don't fucking say!
Some of the characteristics of floodlighting are: you immediately overshare personal traumas, you expect instant emotional reciprocity. God, that was a mouthful. Probably just like... You use vulnerability to test acceptance. Yeah, so those were the three characteristics, right? And each one is broken down a little bit more. But I just wanted to, if you want more of that, you can go to the Forbes article. But I wanted to ask you, have you experienced this a lot recently? Is this something...
Do you think
that...
Expect it... What's the second one?
You expect instant emotional reciprocity. Upon opening up in a new relationship, the article goes on to say you should
The third one again?
The third one? Oh, okay. You use vulnerability to test acceptance.
And number two again?
That was the expecting instant emotional reciprocity.
Yeah. When somebody told me that, at the 3-month part, when we were going through a tense part, and they were like, I'm looking for the type of relationship where our entire lives revolve around one another, I was like,
so
I don't know if I'm with that.
So dating from if you took the internet verbatim right now, right? Like if you took it at its word, it seems to be that the general overall consensus is, right, main polling is that dating is absolute shit right now. You got all these people in Polycules, you got these married and still searching people out there, right?
Well, you gave me some of the best, pep talk. You were like, look, man, you're at, your prime years at a time when a non-problematic white male is a premium commodity.
Yeah, look, not to be all Andrew Schultz and Charlemagne about it, which we'll talk about. But, honestly, dude, the bar is really low right now.
That's what I'm saying!
That's what I'm saying! No, especially for white men. Seriously, dude, don't, have something, I don't know, don't have an Andrew Tate quote in your bio anywhere, right? And, don't have too many Funko Pop figures. Honestly, it's look, you can't even say it's women don't like nerds now, because there's plenty of women out there
who are total fucking nerds.
Yeah, bro, and they want to play Magic the Gathering with you too.
I don't want to play Magic the Gathering with my girlfriend anymore.
Yeah, see, that's what's wrong with y'all. We are at a peak time where women
now, if I am actually
time right now where women are all in on sharing the same hobbies as men, and men are like, it's too many women in here. Oh my God, are they gonna make this character a woman again?
All right,
man.
I just don't want to tie that game to my relationship again.
Everybody who plays Magic the Gathering, male and female, and
is jealous that I've been in a relationship.
And non-binary. I was gonna say, totally understands why you don't want to play Magic the Gathering with your partner, although I'm sure there are some of you out there who do. And
I bet you there are some Magic the Gathering players out there who claim to be pansexual and have never gotten laid. I think they just call that desperate.
I was gonna say that sounds like Andrew Tate fans. I guess they wouldn't call themselves pansexual. Right, yeah, never mind. That was a bad joke. But like, okay, so this is something that you have experienced more recently, right? Like, I don't feel like this is a new thing at all, first of all. I guess it's just the new trending, like, obviously this is just the new topic of discussion on TikTok, right? Because the dating scene is trash, and that does seem to be a continuously growing phenomenon that does not seem to be getting better.
All right, so right? I will say,
like, the discourse online has consistently been since COVID, dating is trash.
Well, I will say,
men are trash, women are trash.
I will say, I never bring up my shit unless it's literally relevant. I never bring it up before we've met.
When you say your shit, you mean like your emotional baggage.
Or be like, yeah,
your ambitions or your...
Or if it's relevant to be like, yeah, I have anxiety. Or, like, I don't bring that up.
Yeah.
Unless it's relevant to whatever is going on.
When do you think...
Like, we're still living through Instagram filters for a while. And I guess
this is the highlight reel up until about what? Like the fourth date? Is that when you open up a little bit and you be like, I still...
Well, no. The first one is like AI all touched up.
Yeah.
The second one is like the quote-unquote no filter. The third one is sepia tone. That's when you start to open up about
That's the
history.
Backstory. That's where
you start to get the backstory.
That's where you get the flashback waves.
Fourth is the thirst trap.
Fourth is the thirst trap. Oh, so by the fourth, that's when you're sending nudes. Is the fourth day? So do you open up in trauma dump before you send nudes? Like, is that what you're saying?
I personally don't send nudes.
Well, what is a thirst trap for you then? You with a leather jacket draped over your shoulder and the second button unbuttoned? Oh my god!
I have
so
a thirst
spicy,
trap picture, sir.
I have a thirst trap. Do not pull your phone out of your pocket to show me a thirst trap picture, sir. I am your fucking co-host.
You're right. You're right.
I'm not coordinating.
That was my toxic male masculinity
He's like,
challenge.
how dare you challenge me? I'm just saying.
And then you were just like, whoa, this is about to be some gay shit.
It's not
even though you don't mean it to be some gay shit.
It's first of all.
Just be like, look,
you don't have
look
to,
how hot I look to another strike.
I'm just saying that is what you were about to do. But my masculinity is I'm comfortable enough in my masculinity that I did not automatically assume like gayosity on your end. But it is great for you to be self-aware enough to be like, yeah, I don't know why I felt like I needed to show you what maybe it's because of the milquetoast description you gave of a thirst trap. You were like, oh no, I don't send nudes, sir. I'm classy. Look at me in this 3-piece suit, looking like Don Draper. That is a thirst trap. And there are plenty
That is a thirst trap.
There are plenty of women out there that would agree with that. Right? I mean, Peaky Blinders is getting a movie for a reason, right? And it's not because all of you niggas, all of you boys, you hooligans out there.
Nobody wants beach shots of Cillian Murphy. Cillian Murphy.
You're killing me with the idea that is a thirst trap, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. The way women have been like absolutely lusting over Count Orlok after Nosferatu came out.
I was gonna say Luigi Baggioni.
Well, there's a difference. There's a difference in the look, but the devotion is the same. If that makes sense, absolutely baffled, right, at the way, they admire both of them with the exact same intensity, right? Women are a confusing breed. What should not be confusing, though, however, is you should not be, like, using accelerationism as a dating tactic.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't want to talk about, like, I don't want to talk about my shit, like, unless it's, like, relevant until, like...
obviously you have to, like,
eventually!
That's a big contingency point with women, right? Is that the right word? Anyway, that's a big point with women of...
Point of contention?
Yeah, point of contention with women right now is that men can't handle their emotional baggage, right? So they project it in all kinds of different ways, mostly toxic masculinity, but, you know, so obviously go to therapy, learn how to work through your shit, right? But on the other hand, the men who have learned how to work through their shit, and women and non-binaries, right, seem to just be, like, unloading it all in the very beginning to be like, look, here's everything what's wrong with me. If you don't want to get invested now, I totally understand it. Let's not waste each other's time. Which, I get to an extent. So,
but, you know, through the course of typical dating patterns, at least in my experience, you can at least figure out how good the sex is by the time that you figure all the other shit out.
So you send nudes before you trauma dump. That's all I was trying to get to. That's all I was trying to get to. So are we still sending nudes in 2025? I mean, it's getting risky out here right now, right? Like, with AI, all you need is a couple of, like...
No, Trump's gonna get me deported if I send nudes.
I mean, like, yeah, literally right now, they're already...
He's gonna be like, oh my god, his dick is bigger than mine. Deport him.
They're already removing historical pictures of, like, historical military moments and stuff like that because of simple things like having the word gay in them.
Yep. You know what the name of the plane that dropped the atomic bomb on Nagasaki and Hiroshima was?
That's exactly what I was talking about.
The Enola Gay.
And it was named after the dude's mom, right? Like, and they were like, nope, too woke. It's got the word gay in it. Nope. With Flintstones, cancel Christmas, buddy. We'll have a gay old time? The fuck does that mean, Fred? Is that why you and Barney go to the Elks Club meetings? Huh?
Water Buffalo.
Water Buffalo, that's right.
Water Buffalo.
Yeah. Son, where are we? Like, literally? Okay, we're done talking about the dating thing because we've come to the clear consensus that you send nudes before you trauma dump. You gotta see what the package looks like before you open up your...
Well, no, like, here's the thing. You give, like, the hors d'oeuvres of trauma. You give, like, like, my last relationship sucked because of, like, a little bit of more minor shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, also cancel that. We're not sending nudes anymore. We're sending classy 1920s thirst traps, right?
In sepia tone.
In sepia tone. Yeah, so like early photography shit. Flappers are back, is what we're saying. Girls, bust those ankles out. Ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we
it would
are...
be like Legend of Korra!
We are a podcast. It's literally talk radio. Speaking of radio, this week's hit on the algorithm is The Giver, Chapel Roan. It's like, nah, it's good credit. Kendrick Lamar and Playboi Carti.
Get that right. It's Playboi Carti featuring Kendrick Lamar.
My man said, get that right. Get that right. As if you weren't the one saying, yeah, of course the Playboi Carti song with featuring Kendrick Lamar has all these crazy streams after one day. Right? No, honestly, Playboi Carti dropped I Am Music after what, like 4 years since A Whole Lot of Red?
I listened to it and my first thought was, oh, so this is like...
It's been a while.
late 2000s, early 2010s Warped Tour music. Got it.
That's your general consensus?
Yeah.
Because Playboi Carti is like king to a lot of these alternative rap niggas, right? Like,
yeah.
that is
who was
the
king
standard.
to like alternative people in our day? All bands at Warped Tour. So I mean, it's not even an insult for me to say that.
I mean, I guess not. Playboi Carti would probably be okay with that stamp. Although,
Like, how excited?
Like,
all right, now let me put this in perspective. How excited do you think Dez would be to go to Warped Tour if all of his favorite acts were there in the Warped Tour fashion?
I mean, if all these little rage niggas was there, Playboi Carti and all of them,
it wouldn't be that much difference when I was seeing like Winds of Plague. And shit.
It would be like going to Rolling Loud now, right? I feel like that's probably.
Have you ever
is that
seen the
fair?
picture of me crowd surfing for safety?
Hold on, chat. Is that fair? Is Rolling Loud like this generation's Warped Tour? I mean, obviously, Rolling Loud is much bigger than. Is that arguable? Would you say Rolling Loud is bigger than Warped Tour?
I mean, so the thing is Warped Tour, like, is a traveling thing.
The Rolling Loud lineup does travel across the country. They have like one. They do an East Coast, a West Coast, Europe. I said across the country, and it's international. So they do an East Coast location, a West Coast location, Europe, and Thailand. I know Warped Tour was more national, right? Like they made several stops throughout the country.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like cultural impact goes, Rolling Loud is this generation's version of Warped Tour. Although Warped Tour is back, so I guess Warped Tour is this generation's version of Warped Tour. I mean,
see me there?
That's you right there.
That's
okay,
me.
yeah, that's hot. So the fact that Playboi Carti took so long to drop this new album is kind of irrelevant because within like the first day it was doing over 137 million streams on Spotify alone. That is despite its awkward rollout. Reportedly there were some like mixing glitches and like audio glitches in the original stream debut, which had people questioning whether or not Playboi Carti used AI to mix and master this album, allegations of which he is denying. But nevertheless, the album is on fast pace to become one of Spotify's breaking like records of like Spotify's top streamed albums in like opening week or whatever, and it is catching the attention of a lot of people, including everybody's favorite internet troll, the one, the only, Kanye West. AKA Ye, AKA Ziggy, who has decided Yeeghile. Good, that was a good one. Damn.
Yeeghile!
I'm mad I didn't think of that. Oh, yeah. Kanye took to X to let everybody know how he feels about the new Playboi Carti album while he himself is working on his next album, and decided to do a John Cena heel turn since everybody is doing heel turns now, and claimed that
John Cena heel turn apparently like really shocked people.
Yeah, it like really, it's
like the fact that like The Rock, like I really wish I was watching that.
Yeah.
Like The Rock, I didn't know The Rock was like that big featured again. And I know this is John Cena's like last year wrestling.
Yeah, and
that Cody
certain
Rhodes is like the Jesus of WWE right now.
Yeah, it's intense. Almost as intense as Kanye wishes he still was.
I mean, people have definitely already done Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, okay. Look, we're gonna get there. Cause it's the Kanye news doesn't just stop at the Playboi Carti shout out. Although he is not feeling the Kendrick Lamar track. And as a matter of fact, he took to the internet and to express displeasure with Kendrick's feature on Playboi Carti's album, saying that he thinks Kendrick is great lyrically, but didn't belong on the album. And then within a day of people mulling over the controversy, retweeted himself saying Kendrick sucks.
Oh, look, Kanye West saying that a black person doesn't belong somewhere. Am I shocked? Not really.
Hey, that's a crazy take coming from you. There's what is almost, but not nearly as crazy as Kanye just deciding that Kendrick sucks for no reason, because you know he can't have anybody garnering more attention and more accolades than him. Kendrick winning, ultimately, it was probably Kendrick winning 5 Grammys in one night for one song that probably did it for Kanye, right? Like, I don't think... Has Kanye done that?
Who do you think Kanye is more jealous of when it comes to attention? Kendrick or Diddy?
I don't know if I would put Diddy up there. He definitely was jealous of the attention Drake was getting, though. And almost to the same extent that, like, Lupe Fiasco was jealous of Kendrick Lamar.
I mean, he's jealous of his entire career. And I hate that because I love Lupe and Kendrick. I have a fucking Magic the Gathering card signed by Lupe Fiasco.
So, Kanye has more Grammys than Kendrick Lamar, I believe, with a total of 24 through his entire career, right? But, I mean, Kendrick sweeping the Grammys with 5 wins in one night for one song is pretty iconic.
Pretty insane.
Pretty iconic.
Also, people go back and watch Kendrick's 2016 Grammys performance if you want to see what happens when he has free reign.
Almost as insane as the idea that Kanye is hosting an open casting call right now for a hooligan choir similar to the one he used in Carnival, right?
Okay, so let's go down this checklist of qualifications.
But the casting call has some pretty odd qualifications.
So, let us hear them.
According to the Hot New Hip Hop article, Kanye's open casting call for volunteers for the next hooligan choir chant that he is thinking about doing for the upcoming album Bully must meet the a few standards, right? First and foremost, it's an all-male choir and no fat people. That is in all bold capital letters.
Jesus Christ, what's the font?
The skin complexion of Sean Combs and darker, right? So it with shaved heads or must be willing to shave heads if approved. So we are like really hearkening back to the black skinhead arc, which I think we should have all taken a little bit more seriously than what we did when it first debuted, because the next qualification for the open casting call is must be comfortable wearing swastikas.
Must be comfortable getting paid by Fox News for the foreseeable
We are accepting
future.
all members from over the globe, but will be based in Los Angeles. He concluded that the casting calls will be taking place March 15th through the 19th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. in the Los Angeles area.
You know what my biggest takeaway is? Jason Whitlock about to go on a diet.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I am almost certain that this is just a troll, right? Like, Kanye is reading the room and seeing that the most outrageous thing that he can do at the moment
He's trying
is
to go
be
the
a black
farthest
Nazi.
out there third rail possible. He even said it, Elon, find your own third rail.
Yeah, and honestly, I have to give him credit where credit is due. John Cena's heel turn may have, be like the most trending thing right now, but Kanye did it first, man.
Is John Cena's heel turn on Netflix?
I don't know if WrestleMania.
that
it was a WrestleMania.
Was it a WrestleMania thing?
I think it was WrestleMania.
It wasn't. No, WrestleMania goes like mega viral. We know about WrestleMania coming.
I think that was WrestleMania, dog. Kanye did it first, right? And he's probably mad that everybody's talking about John Cena's heel turn when this nigga became a literal Nazi, right? So I don't know what kind of I don't know what kind of aesthetic Bully is going to have, but it seems like he's trying to recreate the viral success of Carnival. In his defense, knocked Taylor Swift out of the #1 spot on the Billboard charts, right? But this week's hit on the algorithm, being Giver by Chapel Roan, just in case you missed it.
It was a little bit of a bop and a vibe.
She's definitely hitting that country tone, right? That seems to be sweeping the nation right now, which is cool because having an alt girly, not them. I don't know what Chapel's pronouns are, but put a bop out in that space, right? It'll force them to have to grapple with the accessibility of country music in a way that Cowboy Carter didn't, right? Like, they were outwardly and openly willing to reject Cowboy Carter, but with artists like Chapel Roan making these little country bops, it'll be interesting to see how, like, long they can gatekeep that space.
They'll be like, well, it's almost vaudeville.
What was that? What was that?
Terrible accent of some kind.
Was that your Conway Twitty impression? I don't understand. Drake is trying to do his own heel turn arc. I don't know if you've seen some of the cryptic tweets and messages that he was putting out, but he said it's about to be an uneasy chapter, posting a series of collages on his Finsta of just
Drake?
Yeah. In a caption following the collage saying, "You know, I grew up on confrontation, and I always treated this game as a sport where my pen won gold, but these days the podium has been hard for all of us to ignore. I understand that this next chapter may leave you feeling uneasy, but I hope you see my honesty and clarity, not charity, that answers some questions, especially about those unanswered texts you've been sending me." Right?
That sounds like he's yelling upward.
Everybody had their opinions about it. Most of the internet seemed to be in agreement that it was a bit corny, including Elliot Wilson, who had recently been in Drake's corner kind of championing him throughout the whole beef, right? But obviously, being the hip-hop journalist that he is, Elliot even himself had to conclude at the end that Drake lost the beef, and is now saying that things like this are the reason why, like, Kendrick Lamar is still, and Not Like Us, is such the culturally trending thing that it is, right? Like, Drake just won't let it go, and he keeps doing things that make everybody go, you know, Kendrick was kind of right about you.
Yeah. I mean, like, I saw the video of somebody flying his drone to Drake's penthouse in Australia, and, like, they saw that Drake was doing online gambling at his kitchen, like, counter.
Yeah.
And then Drake comes out and throws his slipper.
What do you think about the conspiracy, right? That the main reason that Drake is really upset about and is suing UMG is because he has a gambling problem.
I wouldn't be shocked if he has a gambling problem.
Drake himself has admitted in several interviews that I've seen that he really likes to gamble. And he had that partnership with Kick, which has like a huge gambling platform. I even think he had a partnership with Stake, which is its...
I'm just gonna say, like, if Drake and Bruno Mars do a song together in the near distant future, we know why.
Fam, have you? No, you haven't. But my God, okay, nope. Actually, I feel like this is good reaction content, and all you gotta do is bleep out certain parts of the song where we're not talking. But oh my God, have you heard Fat, Juicy, and Wet?
No.
Bruno Mars is definitely trying to pay off gambling debts with this song because him and Sexyy Red did a song together, and it is absolute fucking hot. hot behind the bowling alley dumpster garbage,
Wow.
bro.
How much of this do I have to listen to?
I don't know. We're gonna see how much of it you can tolerate.
This sounds like a NES soundtrack.
Okay, all right. That's as much
It
of that
sounds like
shit
an
I can
NES
take. AI needs to be stopped. That shit absolutely sounds like it was written by AI, bro. There's no way you can convince me that Bruno Mars actually penned that shit. Maybe Sexyy Red wrote her verse, but I'm even questioning the legitimacy of that, bro. This song, that's how bad that fucking song is, dude. And it to me, it absolutely screams, I got bills to pay. These tax collectors are coming after me. We all know Bruno Mars owes MGM some money. It's like, we don't know. That's alleged. That rumor was never proved. Bruno Mars came
How
out
much
and
do we
disputed
hold
that.
it against Bruno Mars for this?
Oh, I don't know.
Because there's definitely like actors that are like, okay, they did this for the check, and we don't really hold it against them.
Movie 43. No, this definitely, I hold this against cocaine. This feels like Bruno Mars at the MGM.
What do you think Bruno Mars's game is? I don't think he was gambling. I don't think he was sports betting.
No, he feels like a blackjack kind of. No, it's probably roulette.
Yeah, I was about to say, he feels like a roulette guy.
If it's coke fueled, it's roulette. Can you imagine strolling into a fucking casino and seeing Bruno Mars sitting at the slot machine? just doing bumps and throwing coins at the shit. Yeah,
Bruno,
that would
shouldn't
be
you
wild.
clip your pinky nail?
The conspiracy is that Drake is in a large amount of gambling debt because he likes to gamble. And gambled, and so much so that he gambled on a beef with Kendrick Lamar that cost him his $500 million UMG contract. Not like legitimately cost him, but like it damaged the brand, right? So much so that he's now essentially stuck in like a dead-end contract. He owes UMG like $450 million. Allegedly, the lawsuit comes at a time where the contract was up for renegotiation. Right? So Drake is really kind of on the line here with a pretty damaged brand, and
Pretty damaged brand.
what seems to
Pretty damaged brand.
now you say that for him and Party Next Door just dropped an album, right? Drake or some sexy songs for you, and the shit is doing numbers, right? Like the track Nokia pretty like that shit pretty hard, right? That shit slapped a little bit. Drake and Party Next Door, that was like the beginning duo. Like when Drake really was on his, I like Drake with the melodies. Like when Drake was on that vibe, that was like a lot of him and Party Next Door, and him and The Weeknd, right? But obviously The Weeknd is not fucking with him.
Yeah, nope.
Because allegedly it was The Weeknd that sent that hitman to Drake's house, right? So. What I'm saying here is, despite him having to cancel his Australia tour for reasons, it seems like he himself is trying to cook up some bully energy here too, right? And it would be entertaining, to say the least, to see Drake and Kanye finally team up, because you remember, like, that's part of what really started the beef between Jay-Z and Drake. Was Kanye wanted to do an album with Drake, and the money was funny, and eventually all Drake got was like 8 bars from Jay-Z on Pop Style or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
It would be interesting to see if we finally get that Drake Kanye West team up in an effort to take down the like Godzilla that is Kendrick Lamar. At the moment.
The boogeyman. It's crazy that
Is
Kendrick,
Godzilla not the boogeyman
like,
to
I
Japan?
feel like people are talking like they're like Drake is the villain. I'm like, yeah, like I know we're all rooting for Kendrick, but Kendrick is on some straight super villain behavior.
Drake looked like Moment Rider at this point.
In that series of Akira parodies, one of the ones
Hercule.
I have is Moomin Rider
Yeah.
walking towards his bike.
He actually looks like more like Hercule. at this point.
Yeah.
And Kendrick came out like Muster.
Just want to put on record, Bulma has saved the Earth and probably the universe more times than Goku and Vegeta combined. Thank you. Continue.
Does that make J. Cole Vegeta? I feel like J. Cole got a wife. I just don't know what her name is. I feel
And
like
he loves to fold clothes with them.
That's what I'm saying. Like
He likes to make them feel good.
oh man. Damn, I feel like I should.
I love the beat in that song, though. For real, like that beat is great. Like the fold clothes beat, it's awesome.
Since we're talking about hip hop and legends and legacy, though, we gotta talk Will Smith news because Will Smith is trending right now and going viral for his little TikTok stunt with Doechii and Tatiana Ali. I don't know if you've heard any of Doechii's album Alligator Bites Never Heal, but the song Denial is a River and a unreleased track Anxiety.
Please tell me it is DA space NILE. Done like Wu-Tang. Like,
oh no. It's just Denial.
Like Dumb Mystery of Chess Boxing.
Yeah.
Denial is a river.
Nah. But the
like fuck your pun. We take it literal.
The previously unreleased track Anxiety has been trending on TikTok because it's got a dance trend that's been going on with it. Will Smith and Tatiana Ali decided to throw their own little spin on it in a way that took the internet by storm because it features Doechii herself, right? So we get a little collaboration between Doechii and in an effort to promote Will Smith's new music that he's got on the way. Will Smith releasing his first album since what, 2005? Yeah, Lost and Found, right?
I love that song.
It was the album title.
I love that song though.
Yeah, that was the one we got Switch, right? Yeah. So that was the last big Will Smith number that we got. We got a little bit of
title shift in a while.
We got a little bit of new music from Will with the latest Bad Boys release, right? But this full album, based on a true story, will be Will Smith's return to the music scene.
This is corny because he's copying Logic, who's already corny.
Wouldn't it be more accurate to say Logic was copying Will Smith?
The Incredible True Story?
Oh, based on a true... Anyway.
Alright, I'm not gonna lie. That album, based on a true story, the second Logic album, where they're going through space...
Oh, classic.
That album's amazing.
Yeah, that's an underground classic.
That
right?
album is amazing.
That shit solidified Logic's place in the backpack royalty iconography, right?
Especially he got Spike Spiegel's voice actor to do it. That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. I mean, it's one of the reasons why you can't make fun of him too much.
Yeah, I was about to say you can shit on Logic to a point, but then you're just I mean, he made Incredible True Story, and he's not a Nazi. It's kind of like the Graduation excuse, but, without the Nazi part. Because I do, kind of look at Kanye, and I'm like, man, but he did make Graduation. And he said he hates Nazis on that album.
Yeah, man, that's why it's so weird to see, at least... And I guess, damn, now I gotta take it back, right? And I gave the credit to Kanye for doing the heel turn, but honestly, Will did it first, right? When he smacked the taste out of Chris Rock's mouth. So, literally, once again, Will being
That's still so bizarre that happened, and then Will got to accept the Best Actor Oscar.
I'm just saying.
That's wild.
Kanye wishes he could smack the taste out of Elon's mouth and then go up and accept a Grammy.
What he really wishes to slap the taste out of Taylor's mouth.
No, maybe.
He made that bitch famous.
But he probably wants to be where JD Vance is. He wishes Trump would have picked him as VP, and then they could have ruined this country together while making fire music. I know the one thing I don't ever want to hear a 16 from Donald Trump. I don't care how many rappers
What
he's
about a
shaking
hook?
hands with. No, ever. I would rather hear a diss track to Al Qaeda from Pete Hegseth before anybody ever let Donald Trump hear a mic.
Try that in a jihad.
Who do you think would spit the most fire 16 in the Senate?
The Senate?
Yeah.
Because I already know who I would pick for the House.
Yeah. Is it Jasmine Crockett?
Yes.
It's gotta be Jasmine Crockett.
The Senate. The Senate. You know what? I feel like if you gave her a Salt and Pepper beat or a Queen Latifah beat, Amy Klobuchar might have 16 in her.
I just saw Tom Cotton's name and I was like, oh god. Absolutely not.
Cory Booker!
It's gotta be Cory Booker.
Why did we not think of Cory Booker?
I was waiting to see who you were gonna say.
Cory Booker's a good one.
I feel like Cory Booker got some heat.
I mean, Cory Booker sent a video message to Mr. Beat, so...
Did he for real?
Yeah! Mr. Beat was actually like, wow, I'm like a total fan of this guy now. Because he did a video where he called every representative and every senator and recorded who actually got back to him. And, like, he said, like, the percentage of people that got back to him was, like, super small. He got, like, a few letters. But Cory Booker actually sent him a video message. Like, talking. He's like, my daughter told me about the work you're doing on YouTube. And he gave a full answer. Like, it was pretty cool.
That's what's up. I can second that. I feel like Cory would probably spit a fire verse. It's definitely not Tom.
If it's written for him.
And on that note, I think we're gonna take a quick break, but come back because we have much more, including media updates like the new Silent Hill trailer drop,
the first few episodes of Daredevil, and of course, we have to cover some news like Tesla tanking and
the United States tanking.
We have a little treat for y'all with some Florida versus everybody's. Break. Doc. You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It is time for Florida versus everybody.
Versus.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane!
Florida man.
This the most Florida story of the week.
Ready for the first one?
Let's hit it.
Man posing as basketball player rep ate jewelry he stole from Tiffany & Co. at mall.
When you say ate the jewelry, do you mean like he ate, like he was walking around and he was flexing that shit, or do you mean like gulp down the gullet, another one, catch me if you can, running like a mullet?
You got the headline.
This definitely feels like a Florida thing.
This is Florida.
Yeah, right off the bat, baby. Home run. Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
X-ray.
there's the X-ray.
Jesus, what is that, a ring? Is it some kind of bracelet?
It's the One Ring. A Texas man is facing charges after Orlando police say he stole $800,000 worth of luxury jewelry at the mall at Millennia before swallowing it during his arrest days after the crime.
So he swallowed. I mean, $800,000 worth of jewelry could potentially not be a lot of jewelry to swallow, depending on the jewelry we're talking about here. But, like, the idea that they would just be like, oh man, I guess we're not gonna get that back. What?
According to the arrest affidavit, the suspect told store associates that he was a representative for an Orlando Magic player, and he was then escorted by staff into the VIP room. Police said the suspect grabbed 2 pairs of earrings valued at $160,000 and $609,500 respectively, and a ring worth $587,000.
So like I said, that's not a lot of jewelry. Although swallowing earrings, pretty
Sounds
bold
painful.
move. Pretty bold move, right? Like that's a lot of desperation. I feel like that's a big desperation kind of move. Cause yeah, like ow. What happens if one of those punctures like an intestine? That's a trip to the hospital nobody's trying to take, right? Like what over? But fuck, man, that's a lot of money. You can't even like. What's crazy to me about that kind of shit is you gotta know people to offload that kind of jewelry on, right? Like you can't just take. It's a very amateur move to think, oh, I'm gonna steal some Tiffany & Co. jewelry and take it to a pawn shop. Like, first of all, have you not seen Pawn Stars? Like, you know Dave's got a guy, that's not what his name is, but you know he's got a guy
I got a guy for stolen shit.
I got a guy for that. Right? You gotta have a guy for that. You can't just offload stolen jewelry at like a fucking flea market booth. Like, yeah, no, those are real Tiffany & Co., right? So, I don't know. So,
After following some video surveillance from the store and the parking lot, he was pulled over 2 days later in Washington County. They say that Jathan Gilder...
I'm sorry, did you say Jathan?
Jaythan. Jathan Gilder.
Jathan. God.
The police say he swallowed several items.
Pause.
The foreign objects believed to be stolen Tiffany earrings showed up later on a body scan.
Oh, is that what we're seeing in the x-rays? The
Detectives say the jewelry was to be collected by Washington County Sheriff's Office after it passed through Gilder's system.
God, could you imagine being the new recruit that has to fish the Tiffany jewelry out of... You gotta follow this nigga around for 4 days like, don't you use that toilet.
Detectives also discovered that Gilder was charged in a near-identical robbery in Texas in 2022.
Jesus Christ, so this is not his first time pulling this maneuver, right? That's why you have to have swallowed the jewelry and gotten away with it before in order to think that that plan will work.
And said he will eventually be extradited to Colorado for 48 outstanding warrants.
Jesus. Next.
Arena removes championship banners after they were damaged during a concert.
Not Florida.
Not Florida. You want to take a guess where? I'll give you a hint. It is the continental U.S.
I don't know. Something in the back of my head is screaming Buffalo, right? Like, I don't know why.
Yeah, but they don't have championship banners.
Unnecessary Buffalo shot.
I mean, it's true.
The truth is just, why are you booing me? Why are
The Bills
you
lost
me?
4 straight Super Bowls.
Damn. As an Eagles fan, I don't know what that's like. The Eagles just won the Super Bowl. But anyway, Texas?
This is Chicago.
Oh.
United Center removes the Bulls championship banners after they were damaged during a concert.
Damn.
The Chicago Bulls' 6 NBA championship banners have been removed from the United Center rafters after they were damaged during a concert. According to the United Center, the banner sustained minor damage during a performance by the rock band Disturbed on Saturday night.
Wait, by The what?
Down with the sickness! Get up there and down with the sickness!
That's Disturbed's music! That's Disturbed's music! What are they doing to those banners? Was it like a pyrotechnic thing?
Probably. While the banners will not be in place for the remainder of the season, we do anticipate them being back in place next season.
That was just that. I mean, at least that's all they got damaged, right? Like out in Macedonia, there was just a concert that had like a pyrotechnic fire that killed like dude, I want to say it was like at least 10 people, right? And like I know like pyrotechnic fire at a concert in Macedonia sounds like off the wall, but so
I mean, it's better than a very enclosed, tight club in New England for a Whitesnake concert.
I mean, that kind of is, no, it's kind of like the Whitesnake concert thing. Like, it's big enough news that it made it into my USA Today feed, right? Like, so, yeah, it's pretty bad.
Next one. Judge sentences Walmart shoplifters to wash cars in the parking lot.
This feels like a Florida story. This feels like some kind of wacky... You said Walmart shoplifters?
Yep.
Yeah, this wash cars in the parking lot. Let me guess, to pay for the amount of the total amount of what they stole, right? Like,
This.
I'm sorry, what kind of TBS fucking family movie shit is this?
This is Michigan.
This is Michigan. Yeah, no, I take that back. That feels accurate. This feels like some Midwestern hokey shit. Like, boys, I can tell you're good-natured, right? And you just done some hard times. Let me guess, you're growing up, your families are doing a little hard in this Trump economy? Yeah, so you decided to get out there and steal something to get your angst out, huh? Is that what it is, boys?
Here's a quote from the judge. I don't think everybody that steals is a bad person.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes people are just down on their luck.
Yep. Don't you know?
But there's going to be consequences when you break the law.
And he definitely said there's going to be. There's going to be some consequences, boys. God damn, man. Oh, man. In Trump's America, by God, no. I'm sorry. They need to be lined up by firing squad and deported and then shot.
Oh, are we going to talk about the guy choosing firing squad for capital punishment?
We might. I don't know. We could get there if you want. Like I said, there's a whole lot of news to cover. So no, I'm not surprised that this came from Michigan, but I'm also like, yeah, more of this and less jail time. Maybe let's not feed the prison industrial complex.
Lawmaker jailed for beating constituent in street during drunken rage.
This feels like something that would happen in North Dakota. This is not Florida.
This is not Florida, but it's also not North Dakota. I will let you guess again.
West Virginia.
No! This, I will give you one more hint.
Is it inside the country?
Not America.
It's not America. Denmark.
No! This is England. British lawmaker jailed for beating constituent in street during drunken street rage.
Yeah, buddy.
Mike Amsbury, 55, a member of parliament who was suspended by the ruling center-left Labour Party after an altercation last year.
Yeah, buddy.
He pleaded guilty to assaulting a 45-year-old man.
The lines are getting blurred. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? The professionals no longer need to act professional anymore. The fucking mask
Amesbury
is
was
off.
walking to a taxi stand in Frodsham, a small town in northwest England, in the early
Frodsham?
hours of October 26th when Paul Fellows complained to him about a local bridge closer,
Paul Fellows.
prosecutors said. He had been in town earlier for a meeting about policing and community safety.
The irony.
Surveillance camera footage shows Amesbury punched Fellows in the face, knocking him into the street. He then stood over him and punched him at least 5 more times until passerbys intervened.
I'm just keeping this community safe.
You won't threaten your MP again, will you? Amesbury said, using profanity and calling him a soft lad.
You fucking soy boy.
Both men had been drinking prior to the incident.
This guy would be perfect for Kanye West's hooligan choir, except he's, white and not darker than Sean Combs. And probably won't wear a swastika.
By the way,
despite
Sean
the fact-
Combs' lawyer resigned.
One of them.
And this is the same lawyer that represented Osama bin Laden.
Is that the one that represented Osama bin Laden?
Yes.
I thought the one that represented Osama bin Laden was the main lawyer.
Yeah, he resigned.
The main lawyer didn't resign. This was
The Osama bin Laden lawyer resigned.
Yeah, okay. Because I thought the main lawyer was the one who represented Osama bin Laden, and he was the one who was trying to convince the lawyer that left to stay. But dude, it wasn't the Drewski stuff, because in the midst of all the Diddy things that we didn't talk about during the news section or the music section, because this is probably more news than anything. But Drewski and Odell Beckham Jr. are now somehow on the Diddy list, right? And I just want to know what's more high profile at this point for all the wrong reasons, obviously. The Epstein list or the Diddy list? Because the Epstein list got people like, Donald Trump.
I think the Epstein list has bigger political implications.
And Chris Tucker, but the Diddy list got people like Odell Beckham Jr. and Drewski on it. It's not funny. It's not funny. What's also news update is the Jay-Z accuser has been found to be completely fabricating her accusation as a voice recording of an interview between her and some private detectives was leaked earlier this week. Where
I did hear about that.
Pretty much, I heard the audio, and once again, in the Lord's 2025 AI, anything can be...
Anything is possible!
But, also, so Jay-Z has been, what's the word, absolved of all of the allegations against him. Drewski and Odell Beckham have both made separate statements, but are still, I guess, liable at the moment to face court appearances for their naming in the lawsuits.
Man steals ambulance, finishes beer before being arrested.
I'm gonna say this is giving big Florida energy.
This is Florida.
Yeah. I mean, gotta finish your beer first, right? You don't want to be drinking and driving.
A Tampa man accused of stealing an ambulance on Saturday, quote, finished drinking a beer in full view of troopers before he was arrested.
So he stole the ambulance, got out, then finished the beer, and then got arrested? Or finished the beer, stole the ambulance, and got arrested?
Wow, this is a lot. Michael J. S. Killian, 43, faces charges of fleeing to elude at high speed, DUI fourth or subsequent violation, driving while license revoked, habitual, grand theft of emergency medical equipment, burglary of an authorized emergency vehicle, and resisting an officer without violence. Wow, they didn't use an Oxford comma. Shame on them. AP would be furious.
The AP is fighting for their life right now, just trying to get into these White House press
With
briefings.
the most milquetoast headlines.
Fam, yeah, because they keep getting kicked out of the White House press
But
briefings.
AP is literally just like, we're literally here just to report facts.
Yo,
Like,
my man was like, have you ever paid a tariff? Because I have. Where are you from? AP? Yeah, I regret taking your question. God damn, man. We'll get there.
Once as Kian was eventually secured, he allegedly said that he had been drinking for the last 2 days and he stole the ambulance after emergency personnel denied him a ride home.
So he was on a 2-day bender, and I'm guessing, did it say whether he called the ambulance or not, or did somebody call him an ambulance?
They didn't say. I think he called the ambulance himself.
It was like, I need a ride home. And they were like, hell no, that's not what we do. And he was like, fine then, I'll do it myself. And then got out of the car, out of the ambulance, and was like, hold on, let me finish my beer. Not hold my beer. I'ma finish my beer.
Alright, we have 2 more. They're both animal related. Man found with live turtle concealed in his pants by TSA.
This is not Florida.
This is not Florida. You want to take a guess where?
Live turtle in his pants. I feel like I read this story. Is this California?
This is New Jersey.
New Jersey. We smuggling turtles into New Jersey now? That's what we doing?
The turtle was detected Friday after a body scanner alarm went off at Newark Liberty International Airport. A TSA officer then conducted a pat-down on the East Stroudsburg man and determined there was something concealed in the groin area of his pants.
Is that a turtle in your pants, or are you just happy to come through TSA, baby?
When questioned further, the man reached into his pants and pulled out the turtle, which was about 5 inches long, wrapped in a small blue towel.
Small? That's average. What do you
mean? He said it was a red-eared slider turtle, a species that was popular as a pet.
I had a couple of red-eared sliders. How much could it have been to have declared the turtle? Maybe you can't bring, maybe there's some, international, turtle, what would that go through? Customs? Yeah, maybe there's some, kind of customs law, right, where you can't transport reptiles from wherever he got it. He couldn't have gone that. You can get them here. They're literally native to Maryland, aren't they?
Let me go through this rest. I just skipped through the rest of this article. Let this writer cook for a second. The man, whose name was not released, was escorted from the checkpoint area by Port Authority police and ended up missing his flight. The turtle was confiscated, and it's not clear if the turtle was the man's pet or why he had it in his pants. We had seen travelers try to conceal knives and other weapons on their person, in their shoes and in their luggage. However, I believe this is the first time we have come across someone who was concealing a live animal down the front of their pants. As best as we could tell, the turtle was not harmed by the man's actions. He said the incident remains under investigation and it wasn't clear if the man would face any charges or penalties.
If it wasn't his pet, then you have to wonder exactly why he had the turtle in the first place. Did he bring the turtle with him on this trip, and was he traveling back with the turtle, or did he find the turtle where he was out and was they had some kind of bond, and he was like, you know what, buddy, I'm taking you to Jersey.
I can't tell you the answer to that, but I can tell you he's from Pennsylvania.
He's from Pennsylvania. Why was he taking the Never mind. We'll never know. We'll never know. All I know is that sounds like a Disney movie that I need to see.
Last one. Can these wild monkeys give you herpes? Here's where they have been seen.
First of all, not Florida. This sounds like it's fucking Thailand or some shit. Where the fuck? Why are we interacting with monkeys in a way? I guess if a monkey bites you, you can get herpes, right? But I just feel like it would be tastefully ironic while Trump was cosplaying Reagan for him to have some kind of weird AIDS outbreak, right? Measles is already back, but I blame that on JFK. Or not JFK.
Yeah, you can blame it on JFK.
Yeah,
Let's blame it on JFK.
Yeah, for not smacking RFK around enough. Because I just, and that's fine because RFK probably believes in physical punishment for children. So
Ted definitely did.
He definitely doesn't believe in vaccines for children, which is kind of like physical punishment. So,
this is Florida!
Damn. Not Thailand. That's interesting.
When it comes to Florida's wildlife, the first animals that come to mind are usually alligators, sharks, or manatees. However, monkeys are also a staple within Central Florida.
That's crazy, because
These monkeys, called Rhesus macaques, were originally brought to Florida by the manager of a glass-bottom boat operation, who released 6 on an island in the Silver River to attract tourists.
So these are just wild monkeys in Florida, like obviously not native wild monkeys. They are technically an invasive species. But what you are saying is that this is an invasive species of monkeys that is infected with herpes.
However, the monkeys swam away from the island into surrounding forests, breeding and increasing the numbers over the years.
Right. So they are a wild species of monkey gone sex crazed in the fucking jungles of Florida, the fucking Everglades, and now they're taking their sights on America and its failing healthcare system.
Nowadays, these monkeys can be found throughout the state, though the FWC says that these sightings likely stem from the group of monkeys at Silver Springs. Aside from the environmental concerns, these monkeys pose a threat to public health, as Rhesus macaques in Florida have tested positive for herpes B.
This ain't the monkeypox you used to, ma.
The CDC states that this viral infection is extremely rare, but it can lead to severe brain damage or even death.
The CDC? We won't have a CDC, you stupid slut. We're literally...
The virus can be transmitted by these monkeys through bites, scratches, or contact with bodily fluids. Isn't that exactly how it worked in 28 Days Later?
Just saying. I'm just saying, man. Listen, and you think Trump and them is gonna let this shit cook? Hell no. Bro, the monkeypox news barely made it out, right? Like, they're too busy fucking eating steak and shake.
These monkeys become extremely aggressive when fed by people. There's even a table with sightings per county.
I'm just saying, I feel like that happens to a lot of people that you feed steak and shake, but the point being is if you live in Florida, it is potentially ground zero for the zombie outbreak. Which, you know, even though The Walking Dead takes place in Georgia.
Do you want the tips for how to deal with a monkey that you see?
I thought you were gonna say tips for a zombie outbreak, but I feel like this is kind of the same thing.
I mean, they feel necessary to give tips for if you see a wild monkey.
What are the tips?
The first one is never approach or offer food to wild monkeys.
I mean, I feel like that should be a no-brainer, but if you've been on YouTube at all, obviously.
If a monkey is encountered, keep children close and pets leashed.
Yeah, monkeys will snatch your little Pomeranian or Chihuahua up real quick, dog.
If bitten or scratched by a wild monkey, immediately wash the wound and seek medical attention.
That goes for any wild animal. If you are bitten or scratched by any wild animal, immediately wash the wound and go to the hospital. Not just
and if
fucking
the
herpes
person
monkeys.
bitten starts to foam at the mouth, pick a god and pray. Oh.
Does it really say that last part, or did you just add that little editorial in yourself? Editorializing a little bit? Just a little bit? Just a little bit? Rabies is actually terrifying. It is a terrifying disease, and it is what I believe the origins of zombie like myths and stuff. Maybe even like vampire myths, dude. Because like when you think about it, like rabies like makes people hydrophobic, which is why you start foaming at the mouth because you can't even like swallow your spit, and like literally people go from acting normal to like stark raving mad in the matter of a week or sometimes 10 years. Just out of nowhere, one day, old Pappy just goes bananas and then bites everybody in the village.
That's it for Florida versus everybody.
Stock up on those bullets, hunt down some monkeys. We'll be back right after this break. Time to go monkey hunting.
You take a sound, any sound, record it, and then change its nature by a multiplicity of operations. You record it at different speeds, you play it backwards, you add it to itself over and over again. You adjust filters, echoes, acoustic qualities, you combine segments of magnetic tape. By these means and many others, you can create sounds which no one has ever heard before.
Welcome back
Welcome back.
to the third half, last half. We're gonna talk about all the news.
So, you've seen Tesla stock is tanking, right?
It's not the only thing of Elon that is tanking. Like, I think his self-esteem is starting to tank at this point. Did you see that? And it wasn't Tucker. It wasn't Tucker Carlson. I don't know who he was talking to.
Ben
on
Stein
Fox
looking
News,
motherfucker.
But they were asking him how he manages to run all his companies and do his Doge duties at the same time, and he was like, it's difficult. It's difficult, and oh my god, and if ever we were close to seeing Elon cry on live I guess it wasn't live, right? But if we were gonna see Elon cry on TV, we're almost there. I feel like if we bully him just enough, just a little bit more, we might make him cry on TV.
I just want to say, so you remember the whole Path of Exile 2 thing?
Bravely Default, yeah.
No. When Elon was...
Oh, yeah.
And then he got caught playing like he didn't know shit.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought about Bravely Default.
That character was reported dying like later that week. And this is like, you die, you're done.
He found out that he had been exposed. And he was just fuck it, just get rid of it. I don't care
maybe
anymore.
he probably tried to actually play.
Yeah, that's even better. That's
Literally what I think. He's like, I could do this. I already have the tools. I can figure this out.
I mean, that's literally... God, that really feels like exactly what his mentality is, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can figure this out. I can figure out how to make the government more efficient and
I
be
can figure out
a eugenicist at the same time.
difficult game.
I'll just make an algorithm that'll filter out everything with the word gay or black. And, like, it's so... It would almost be beautifully ironic.
Imagine if Elon did that to Disney. I'd be so excited for Panther 3.
It was like, we were sitting here so comfortably in America watching the rest of the world be dysfunctional going, ha, must suck to suck. And now we are here literally watching Nero play the fiddle. Or more like introduce a Trump coin. Dog, the fact that the United States president did what is effectively an ad read for Tesla on the White House lawn.
Speaking notes. That Getty Images photographer needs a raise.
On the White House lawn. No, nobody needs a raise more than the person who took the picture of fucking rat-ass Chuck Schumer smiling and talking to Donald Trump.
Probably another Getty Images photographer.
It's disgusting. It is disgusting. Like, a couple of weeks ago, I got stuck down this rabbit hole of looking into the lore behind Judge Dredd, and I really feel like we are in the Judge Dredd timeline. Because the Democratic Party was effectively, like, just, like, spineless and neuter in that comic book, right? Like, they were...
What timeline do you think we would be in if Harambe was still alive?
Come on, like... I don't know. Fucking Utopia, where the Blade movie had come out.
The Blade movie definitely would have come out in the Harambe Lives time.
And it would have been fire, right? Oh my god. But this shit, dude, like, I don't know if you've really, like, gotten into Judge Dredd or anything like that,
I have not.
I really feel like we're not that far from, like, the complete melding of, like, police officers and, like, judges, right? Like, it's, like, because now we are at a point where the judges are literally fighting back against Trump, right? Like, he has invoked the Alien and Sedition Act as of the current timeline. That
the one that was written in the 18th century.
The one that helped put Japanese people in internment camps. They are now using to round up Tren de Aragua, as Trump has so declared, and despite the fact that like people who aren't even like remotely Hispanic or Latino have been caught up by ICE in their like this fucking immigration crackdown, right? Like 2 German citizens were detained by ICE coming across the border over in like the California area. One of them is like this fucking tattoo artist who's been detained by ICE for like 3 months, dude, because they misinterpreted her saying she was coming over to like do a tattoo for a friend as her like saying that she was coming across the border to work, and like her papers and shit ain't right. So it's like, and this is not me saying that like a German citizen is somehow like more important or more significant than somebody of South American origin trying to seek asylum in the country, right? But like literally,
but this person's gonna be here like a week.
They were literally already abusing their power because they are down there unchecked with the mandate of the president, right? So what the fuck you think they gonna do now that the Alien Sedition Act has been invoked, man? Like, and there are people like, okay, so the discourse online about like all of that is, as you can imagine, as tumultuous as the entire presidency has been. Right, like there are people who are like, you know, this is what we asked for.
I log
right?
on to Blue Sky every day, and I'm like, what's broken now? Like,
did you see post that I made on the Flood Blue Sky where it was like, you know, I just hope after this humiliation ritual is done, this season of America wins all the Academy Awards, because
like I got into a Blue Sky a post exchange with somebody on our account. Trump says 25% tariffs on Mexican and Canadian imports will start. Somebody said, get lost, America. As a Canadian, we'll never purchase American product, including beer and wine. Goodbye, America. On behalf of the Flood, go, can we call you after we take a few years to find ourselves and get rid of this toxic relationship? After we piss on his grave, give us a call. I'll bring a charcuterie board.
Jesus.
And I'll bring tequila.
That's
Ain't no party like a NAFTA party!
Yeah, good luck with them fucking tariffs, buddy, because he talking about putting tariffs on French wine.
A 200% tariff.
And Jesus, bro, it's Jesus, man. Like, you want to talk about snowflakes, bro. We going through McCarthyism 2.0. I ain't seen no bigger snowflakes than the MAGA movement, my man. They out here really butthurt about
Have you said thank you once?
Everything. Yo, have you seen the JD Vance babyface memes?
Of course I've seen them.
They're like the new rare Pepes, right?
I saw one recently where it was him as MODOK.
That's so perfect, dude. Just floating around behind Trump. Oh man, this is awful, bro. Our country is like fucking rotting from the inside.
It's on fire. I'm actually gonna be getting a passport soon.
Yeah. You think you can get a passport, you stupid slut? There will be no passports. We're locked in. We're locked in, baby.
Hopefully we just fall into Doom's part of America.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
He can't even help us now.
Were you guys not paying attention to the Handmaid's
They would call
Tale?
him gay.
Was that it's not fucking Uncharted. What is that other video game series? Damn.
Crash Bandicoot?
No, obviously I'm not fucking talking about Crash Bandicoot.
Legend of Zelda?
No.
Left 4 Dead. NBA Street. Ape Escape. Doom? Final Fantasy. Tiger Woods PGA Tour? Gran Turismo.
Are you really just gonna... You're not helping, you're making it worse.
God of War? Super Mario Brothers. Tetris and all its associated variants. Dragon Quest? Chrono Trigger.
You're not even naming games in the right game
Tony
space.
Hawk's Underground.
It's not Uncharted. Damn, dude, why can't I think of...
Dead Space.
Is it a Naughty Dog game? No. Okay. All right. Anyway, moving on. Back to Trump and Elon, right? Yo, it's fucking crazy, dude, because like literally we are at a point where they are dead naming fellow senators, right? Like I saw a video the other day of a based ass Democratic, I believe, senator or House member, right, going off on a Republican who was misgendering a transgender representative from Delaware, I believe. Now, you know, don't quote me on the exact metrics and everything, but that's essentially what was happening. And it's like, yeah, I don't think we are very far off from having like a fucking full-on fist fight in the House or the Senate at this point, dude. Like, we are really living in that timeline. And I brought up like the Judge Dredd thing because, yeah, like with the Alien and Sedition Act and judges invoking stay orders on some of these.
If it comes to throwing hands in the Senate, who you got? Like, who you got throwing hands and who you got like running the gauntlet?
And Al Green washing everybody. Was it Al Green that got kicked out of the? That
would be Al Green.
Yeah. Al Green for everybody, dog. No, man, it's getting ugly out here, dude. And Elon,
I once again will put dollars on Jasmine Crockett.
Elon is literally out here retweeting fucking Nazi conspiracy theories while working in an official government position, right? Like, he retweeted the other day, Hitler, Mao, and Stalin didn't kill millions. It was bureaucrats and middle management or some shit like that. And like, when people called him out for it being,
you know, like at the direct order of them.
The Post read, according to USA Today, Stalin, Mao, and Hitler didn't murder millions of people. Their public sector employees did. Right? Right? Listen, continuing to push this narrative that the government is bloated and what's really wrong with the government is... Now hear this, right? Now hear this in this tasteful bit of irony. Is compliant public sector employees. Right? Not the pot calling kettle black at all. There's no bit of shade there, right? Like, we are really living in such a twisted timeline. I saw a video go viral the other day on Threads of this MAGA group walking into what seemed to be a pretty left-leaning bar and immediately being kicked out by the bartender, who I believe was transgender, right? Like, they were not playing games. They were like, no, just get the fuck out now, right? And like, they were obviously, the people who were being kicked out were like filming, right? Because they were trying to start a scene, but like, it's like, oh, you know, this is discrimination, right? And everybody in the bar laughed. And no, not in like the Reddit and everybody clapped kind of way. Like, no, this legitimately was like, fucking, are you kidding me? You're in here in MAGA hats. Like, no, they grabbed a bat. It was like, I will call the cops now if you do not leave. Like, that's where we're at. That's like the line that people are literally drawing the line in the sand. And
I did a delivery yesterday, and I pulled it to the house, and it had a big Trump van sign in the driveway, or in the lawn. I'm like, okay, you're dickheads, I get it. And then the person's waiting outside, and they have a Trump Vance fucking sweater on. And I'm like, okay, you're actually just trash.
It's a cult. It's like the cult of America, right? And
They still tip well, though, so.
I'm at this toss-up where it's like, do we do the reclaiming thing? Right? Like, because there was a call for that towards the end of the latest campaign run, right? Where it was like the left really needs to reclaim patriotism in order to, you know, make this narrative work that democracy was on the line. And obviously, being the Democrats, they failed at that because the Democrats fail at everything. Even historically, though, that's not true. Like, and that's what makes this moment even worse, right? Is when you look at the real moments of progress in building, at least post-Civil War, post-Civil Rights Movement, right? Like, the crux of what we know to be greater America was built by the democratic functions of this country, right? Like, and I don't just mean like democratic as in our system of government. I mean like by the Democratic Party, right? Like, and the Republicans have consistently done nothing but put us into debt and make the government dysfunctional. And I am extremely upset that when the Democrats finally had their chance to be disruptive for a cause, the majority leader, or the minority leader in this case, decided to kowtow and buckle to pressure to not look like the bad guy.
You know what
to
the
not
Democratic
do the
Party
heel
really
turn.
comes across to me is they're just literally fighting to be like, okay, can we play a normal, fair game now?
Yeah. Yes.
They're
Yes.
literally fighting to get to the point where, like, can we just play a fair game now?
They're trying to not get dirty wrestling with pigs in the mud. Let's be real about it. It's absurd on its face. The Democratic Party had its chance to do its Daredevil arc, to do its Frank Castle arc, right? And they chose what?
Joe Biden.
Come on, man. Come on, man. That's where we're at now. And
They got away with it once.
oh, they got away with it again. This spending bill that's getting passed, like, it codifies into the law, essentially, everything that Doge and them were doing that was illegal. Now it's like, what do you say? Like, and judges can try to stop it, but Trump and the Supreme Court have agreed that whatever Trump deems is legal. So he can tell ICE to go ahead and just keep on moving with the train. The fleecing of the government, man. And
But yeah, Tesla's stock, however, has been plunging.
thank the
And I will say, and it has been said that at Tesla's peak after the election, Elon Musk became the richest man in human history. And according to Forbes' Fictional 15, which calculates the 15 richest fictional people, Elon Musk was worth more than all of them combined. Doubled.
Now, let's contextualize that,
That's
right?
Tony Stark, Bruce Wayne.
Let's contextual. First of all, the idea that he was richer than Tony Stark and Bruce Wayne is laughable, right? So Forbes, we're gonna have to let's check that, right? Because Elon ain't built no Iron Man suit, right? Like, Batman had what, the Eye or whatever that fucking Oracle system that he had was called, right? Like Starlink wishes, right? This is the devil's greatest trick, right? Is convincing you that he is just as, if not more powerful. Elon's wealth is majorly speculative, right? Now, I know there's a lot of people listening and who are like, yeah, but that speculative wealth gets into a lot of places that we can't go. Yes, that is true. But what is also true is that all of that wealth is so volatile and not secure that within what, like a month, once again, it has been under...
I just found the Fictional 15.
It has been 2 months. It has been 2 months. And both Elon Musk and Donald Trump have managed to tank their credibility, ranging up to what, 50 fucking %? Dog, it's It's only been 2 months. Now, who's at the top of this fictional 15?
So, at the top of the fictional 15 is the Dragon Smog. Anywhere from 62 billion to 870 billion, and his source of wealth is looting.
I mean, he's a literal dragon, right? Like, they are the most, like, the top tier symbol of greed.
Quite a literal dragon. Number 2 is Lord Tywin Lannister from Game of Thrones. Net worth of 2.1 billion.
These are the richest people in fictional history?
It's not in order of wealth.
Oh, okay.
Tony Stark, 9.3 billion.
Only 9.3. Stark Industries is only worth 9.3 billion. I find that hard to believe.
Charles Foster Kane from Citizen Kane, 8.3 billion.
Well, he was like a medium. I still find that hard to believe. So you're telling me that that Rupert Murdoch could have just as much money as like the head of or the fucking like top investor over at Northrop Grumman? Like, what? That doesn't make sense.
Number 5, Lillian Celia
IBM.
Lily Vander Woodson from Gossip Girl. Net worth of 2 billion.
This list is bullshit. This is the most whacked out list. Lily, I mean, not the
Carlisle Cullen, 34.5 billion.
from fucking Twilight.
Scrooge McDuck, 33.5 billion.
That feels accurate. That one
Richie
feels
Rich,
accurate.
11.5 billion.
That feels accurate.
Jed Clampett, 7.2 billion.
From Green Acres.
Adrian Veidt, 7 billion from Watchmen.
Oh, okay.
Bruce Wayne, 6.5 billion.
You know, is it fucked up that I feel like Tony Stark should be I guess Tony is richer than Bruce by what, like 3 billion? I still feel like Tony's net worth is not accurate though.
The Tooth Fairy, 3.9 billion.
Get the fucking Tooth Fairy.
Thurston Howell III, 2.1 billion. Sir Topham Hatt, 2 billion.
Oh my god.
Artemis Fowl, 1.9 billion. Montgomery Burns, 1.3 billion. Chuck Bass.
Nah, I gotta push back. I feel like Monty got more money than that. Monty got money hidden in offshore accounts. You fucking stop playing. That ain't no way.
Chuck Bass, 1.1 billion. Jay Gatsby, 1 billion. Lucille Bluth, 950 million. I think the fact that there's a Bluth on there is fucking hilarious.
I personally feel that list was bullshit. Ain't no way. You're not gonna tell me, dude, first of all, you're not gonna tell me that Stark Industries is only worth $9 billion.
I'm just wondering how much of Scrooge McDuck's wealth is in that room. And you know what one I'm talking about?
Yeah, which effectively makes what, him and Tyrion, the fucking Tywin, the like really the richest people, because everybody else's wealth is like speculative, right? Like I want to like really drive home the difference between speculative and
Scrooge McDuck is
wealth.
very liquid.
That nigga got it on him. He got it on him. But he just be swimming in gold coins. Like, but you're not gonna tell me with the kind of tech that Tony Stark has invented. And fucking Montgomery Burns, Mr. Burns, literally owns Springfield.
Yeah.
The fuck do you mean? Like a whole ass town. Elon Musk got all that money, but can't buy Massachusetts. Sure, I guess he bought an election, right? So I guess we could argue he bought all of the United States, right? He is the...
He actually, if he wanted to, he could buy all 4 major sports leagues.
We say that.
Like all 120 teams.
You say that, right? But let's not remember that as much bragging as Elon Musk did about being able to buy Twitter, he did not buy Twitter on his own. And yeah,
He also didn't want to buy Twitter.
Yeah, that was like back in what?
2022.
2022. So, but he wasn't that less rich than he is now back then, right? Like,
no, he was still filthy fucking rich back then.
he claims, right? Like, but the boycotts on Twitter are probably the boycotts on Twitter and the boycotts on Tesla are probably some of the most effective boycotts we've seen in a long time, because they are taking
Trump
the work.
is calling these boycotts illegal.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how is it illegal to just not do something?
It's illegal to not buy Tesla now. That's it. Like, but this is the guy. This is the guy that's gonna fix the country by telling us what company it's legal to buy from and what company it's not. Yeah, if you decide.
It is so dumb because the people who vote for him don't want EVs.
No,
It's so dumb.
No, they don't. And Teslas suck. They suck. They're built terribly, right? Like, ever since Elon has become this fucking megalomaniac, the company has just gone to shit.
Like ever since he bought Twitter.
Get a Lucid.
Get a Quaalude.
Don't get a Ravion. Those they're alright. I don't know how they really run, but
What, a Quaalude?
no, a Ravion.
I thought
A
you said-
Rivian.
You said get a fucking car. I said get a Quaalude.
Yeah, I said
Or don't get a Quaalude.
No, don't do recreational drugs right now, guys. I mean, maybe shrooms. Definitely stay away from ketamine. It's getting spooky out here. Get your health up. Start exercising again. Cut back on your drinking if you can.
Fentanyl.
And stay away from the fentanyl. Yo, it's crazy, man. It's
There's a fentanyl for you. There's a fentanyl for me. There's a fentanyl for all of us 6 foot underground.
It's getting dark in here, and that's just another
Time to
example.
tell you that Daredevil is back.
That's right.
So we were all like worried about like whether or not Disney Plus was gonna let Daredevil cook like that, but they're letting Daredevil cook like that. He's kicked ass in a hallway at least twice so far in these 3 episodes.
I mean,
I've seen.
I felt like after Wolverine versus Deadpool, right, that it was kind of just no holds barred. Disney,
but like the storytelling and everything.
yeah,
like,
I mean, Disney is the everything company. So much so now that Marvel, the reception that Daredevil is getting is so good that Marvel and Disney are playing around with the idea of bringing back the original Netflix lineup of shows. So we might be getting Jessica Jones back. We might be getting Luke Cage back, right?
and the series
Nobody wants
is
Iron Fist
a
back.
Direct sequel to the Netflix series.
Yeah.
It is a direct sequel.
That's why.
Except for spoiler alert, Foggy. He gets capped real bad.
Yeah, but they kind of like that buzz was kind of building up online before the season dropped, so now we know for sure. And if you didn't know,
Within the first 10 minutes, Foggy's dead.
spoiler alert. But I mean, it's looking good.
Charlie Cox is a fantastic Daredevil, and every time I watch Daredevil, I'm like, man, I relate to you, you guilty Irish Catholic fuck. He said he sees the world on fire, and I relate to that right now.
Was Ben Affleck, right? The Daredevil.
The Daredevil movie.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Ben Affleck sees this and is like, I could have done that, Charlie. I could have done that. I could have been a contender, Disney.
Michael Clark Duncan was Kingpin.
Yeah, in that one. Yeah. There's
I'm definitely I prefer Vincent D'Onofrio Because I like how he plays him as like a neurotic mess.
There's a call for Walton Goggins to be the new Norman Osborn.
Ooh, I love that!
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I watched all of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
You watched all of it already?
Yep.
Well, yeah, you've got the time to binge watch it. I started
Thoroughly
watching it, so no spoilers. Right?
I mean, I watched it, I think, in 2 nights. They're all half-an-hour episodes, so...
Yeah, I mean...
It's good. I really liked it. It was a lot of fun.
I enjoyed it. I'm enjoying it so far.
Right now, it probably falls into the same, like, memory bank of mine of Batman Caped Crusader, where I watched all of it, and it was really good, but I can't remember very many specifics.
See, I feel like that's been happening a lot with certain media, right? Like, it's enjoyable, but not memorable. Like a theme park ride, right? Not to sound like Martin Scorsese over here, but yeah, it does feel like there's a lot of that going around lately.
There are a few theme park rides that are very memorable. Have you ever been to Busch Gardens?
No, actually, I've never been to Busch Gardens.
In Busch Gardens, there's one called the Loch Ness Monster. And there's one part where you have a loop, and like it has this like really cool like cave tropical like setting that you like go through water and everything like that. But you have these 2 loops that interloop with one another, and it's really cool.
And since every roller coaster I've been on has been an experience, but one that I remember how it felt when the roller coaster started and how I felt when it was time to get off. That's about it. That's literally how I feel like America feels right now. There's so much news.
Wait, are you not a coaster person?
No, not at all. I think I have been on a total of 5 roller coasters my entire life.
Which ones?
I can't name them off the top of my head.
Were they at Six Flags America?
2 of them were.
What
one was at
like?
Disneyland. There was the 2 wooden roller coasters. I've been on the 2 wooden roller coasters.
So Wild One and Roar.
Yeah, I've also been on the one that goes backwards at Six Flags. So yeah, 3 at Six Flags.
Where you flip and you hang?
No. This was like
Oh, Two-Face.
No, not Two-Face. It was like a log ride roller. And you back up into like shed thing, and then you go backwards down the roller coaster. I don't know. I feel like it was a wooden roller coaster. Anyway, and then the other one was at King's Dominion, and I think I went on one at Universal Studios. I don't know. It's few enough that I can't remember.
Are roller coasters some white people shit?
No, not necessarily. Because that's like saying thrill-seeking is white people shit when black people like to.
I mean, but a lot of things with heights, I'm just like, this sounds like some white people shit.
It's more so, I just don't like. I don't trust human engineering enough, right, to throw me around at such high speeds without me being in control. Does that make sense? Like,
all right, so I will say there are a few.
Flying isn't even safe.
I will say there
are
a few roller coasters that I've been on that are just like actually mind blowing, and that's the Incredible Hulk at Universal Studios. So you start going up the hill, and then at a certain point they do a pneumatic chute. And then there is Sky Rush at Hershey Park. Shout out to Cool Zach. We rode that thing twice, and we were just like, that was fucking incredible. Superman Ride of Steel is always fun. And I'm really upset they're taking down King Dakar, and I never got the chance to ride it. You know about King Dakar?
No, I do not.
So King Dakar it was the tallest roller coaster in the world. You also go up at a 90-degree angle and go down at a 90-degree angle.
That is intense and sounds like it would make my stomach hurt.
Like, you know that fictional Saudi Arabian city with like the drawing where it's just like goes straight up, then curves and goes straight down?
Yeah.
It's like that, but a roller coaster.
Oh man, I want to do the Tron coaster at Disney, but that's just because I want to ride a Tron bike, and I feel like I'm willing to suffer through the terror of riding a roller coaster to actually ride a Tron bike.
What rides will you go on?
I mean, it depends, right? Like, I've done like the 3D experience ride.
Are you more of a water park person?
Oh, absolutely.
So you're like all water slides, you're good.
I could do a water slide.
What about the death drop water slides?
I could probably do that. It doesn't bother me so much. I don't know why. I just don't, like I said, I just don't trust human engineering. And sliding down a water tube feels a lot less risk evasive than, being in a fucking death cart.
As soon as you said you didn't ride roller coasters, I was like, this guy has a water park, dude.
Well, yeah, I feel like you're either a roller coaster person or you're a water park person.
I do both.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah. You know what I also don't know if I want to see or not? This
new
Lilo and Stitch movie.
Who is a huge roller coaster person?
Now I gotta do it again. So
it happens to be one of our patrons, and it's not Enraged Peacock, and it's not a cat named Cool Slater, but it is a Thunder Knight Ryo!
Shout out to our patrons.
Yep.
Another thing I'm not sure if I want to see or not is this new live action Lilo and Stitch.
I don't.
No? You
No.
didn't like... So, I'm actually quite... I like the animation, right? Like, I'm actually quite pleased with the CGI and all of that. It doesn't look Lion King-ish to me. Like, I don't know. The Lion King live action adaptation really put a bad taste in my mouth. I think it did for a lot of people.
Disney has given up on animation as an art form as it is no longer deemed it profitable, and therefore decide to whitewash all of their classics by remaking them in trashy CGI live action. Wait till the next time we see another actual animated Disney movie. I will continue to wait. That is my take.
I got news for you, buddy. That take is not new. As a matter of fact, it is the general consensus that most of Hollywood has given up on animation, and is leaning towards AI-generated CGI models, because it's just easier and more cost-effective, and it sucks because, growing up in what I consider the golden age of animation, right? Like, the
golden age of animation because we were given all of the previous animation on top of the current animation.
I was gonna say
properly curated as well.
I consider the classic age, right? Like the early Disney stuff, like Mickey Mouse, Popeye, Looney Tunes. Yeah, like that's classic animation at this point. Our generation, I think, really had the golden age of animation because, like, when you go back and you look at, like, just, like, we'll start at 80s cartoons and work our way to the mid-2000s, the versatility of experimental art styles and stuff like...
Look at Genndy Tartakovsky's stuff, from Dexter's Lab to Powerpuff Girls to something as visually stunning as Samurai Jack.
Dude, early Nickelodeon, like the WB Saturday morning cartoons, like, I don't know if you remember, like, the Men in Black cartoon, the Jumanji cartoon, right? Like, dude, we were really, like, the Ghostbusters cartoon, like,
kinda, sorta.
Dude, Street Sharks, fucking, dude, what is it? I want to say Space Cats, but it's not fucking Space Cats. Dude.
The angsty Looney Tunes?
Fucking Tiny Toons, like, just Nickelodeon in general, right?
Jackie
like,
Chan. Adventure.
Hey Arnold, Rocco's Modern Life,
Arnold!
SpongeBob, which is arguably the best cartoon ever made, right? Like now, arguably.
Ooh, let's
the most
start that.
successful cartoon.
Let's start that. SpongeBob, Simpsons. There we go.
I mean, we also lived through the golden age of adult animation, right? Like home movies, Family Guy, Bob's Burgers, The Simpsons, South Park,
Futurama.
Futurama,
Which might actually be the greatest adult animated series of all time. If we're not counting anime, because I'm assuming we're not.
Anime. The anime boom. Like, literally, if it wasn't for, I guess, like, that doesn't count as American animation, but, like, yeah, like, it's very clear that American studios have given up on animation as a whole, and it is now almost entirely an indie project.
I mean, they did outsource a lot of Invincible's animation to North Korea, apparently by accident.
I'm just saying, man, it's a shame considering anime, a lot of anime aesthetic is inspired by classic American animation. So to watch us give up on this art form as well as democracy is very
Not normal.
And with that being said, I know we've been gone for a little while, guys. We took a little break there, but you know, it is a lot of news to keep up with, and we will do our best to try and keep you guys up to date with all of those hot takes moving forward. We're even experimenting with new ways to bring you that stuff. So stay tuned, check back in. Thank you for listening to this episode.
Check it out.
And if you
what's it all about? Work it out. Let's burn this party out.
You can find us burning this party out on Blue Sky, Instagram, at everything on the Flood Pod, and that is on everything. And use the promo code Ziggy at tokenmtg.com to get 10% off your order for all of your Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, Flesh and Blood, board games, card game supplies, and once again, that's the promo code Ziggy to get 10% off of your order at tokenmtg.com. And if you're in the Baltimore area, you can catch us, mostly Zig, but sometimes Doc, doing stand-up, especially at Mobtown Comedy. Shout out to
Thursday nights at the Manor.
Mobtown Comedy. And we'll be back at you guys next week with more hot takes. Deuces.
Look, it's a flood.
It's a flood.
It's flooding.
Get away.
Quick, we need to get to higher ground.
Open the floodgates.
Wait, why can't we talk about black stuff?